All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So another Jets training camp practice is officially in the books, and it sounds as though it started pretty 50-50. Offense won a little bit, defense won a little bit, but as the day went on, the defense just rose to the occasion, and they ended up just kind of winning the day. Now, first things first, the Hassan Reddick watch. Did he show up? Is he there? No, he's not. Another $50,000 gone. Woody Johnson was there, but no Hassan Reddick. So, you know, when is the solution? Like, is there a solution in the pipeline here? Is it on the horizon? I feel like it's really, I mean, it should not be that difficult to work something out, all things considered, because it's not like this is a brand new problem. Reddick obviously wanted the extension back in Philly. We knew that when we traded for him. And also, too, you know, if we take the Connor Hughes reports as 100% fact, which was that the Jets supposedly offered Reddick an extension prior to the Eagles trade and Reddick declined it, why did we go ahead and make the trade anyway without the assumption that we couldn't get a deal done? And Adam Schefter actually chimed in and gave his perspective on things. I think it was on the Pat McAfee show either yesterday or 2 days ago, but he said that it would be tough to imagine things continuing on like this. And I think he actually said the same thing, which was it shouldn't be that difficult to figure out a solution here. You know, I highly doubt Reddick is asking for like $30 million or $35 million or some insane price. There's got to be a solution here. And, you know, with every day that Reddick misses, it's just one less day with the team, one less day with the coaches, one less day in the defensive system. It's not like Reddick is just sitting around doing nothing, but, you know, we're seeing the offense struggle, you know, with them participating in OTAs, minicamp, and already a week of training camp. Reddick hasn't had any of that. He hasn't even suited up for the Jets. So, you know, I would expect a little bit of rust, but the longer that this goes on, not only is it just going to continue to become a distraction and a headline and a negative talking point, and you also run the risk of just really pissing Reddick off because you don't want to get to that tipping point where Reddick just says, you know what, screw it, I'm not showing up until the start of the season, and then I'm just going to suit up, and that's going to be it. Because then at that point, it's just a completely botched trade. So, when is the solution coming? Hopefully soon. So one positive from this practice, and, you know, I guess you can maybe say this about a couple of these practices, but the young guys, they're really turning heads and making an impression. I mean, we could talk about Stiggers having another good day at the cornerback position, Eric Watts getting in the backfield, having a sack, JBC transitioning from safety to corner. That transition is going really smoothly, and it seems as though the Jets coaching staff has a lot of confidence in him as one of those depth corner options. You know, he continues to make plays. Jalen Key actually surprised some people today, and that's another, I think it was Nick Faria who reported that, you know, he was a project, obviously being the last pick in the draft, but it seems like he's further along than what the Jets initially thought, which is a sweet sign. Now, Braylon Allen had another dominant day, fantastic. When the pads come on, when contact's allowed, the running back position is always the one position that I always personally key in on, because it's like, you don't know how these guys are going to respond to contact. It's easy to run the rock if you know no defenders are going to hit you. It's a different ball game when defenders can come in and hit you. So to hear that Braylon Allen continues to impress in not only just running the football, but protecting the quarterback and catching the football, I mean, that gets me fired up. Another player, too, that is seeing more and more playing time is Malachi Corley. Now, of course, Xavier Gipson is still dealing with the injury, unfortunately, but Corley is somebody who I think, even just in the small comparison from yesterday to today, his overall offensive snaps with the ones seem to be getting higher and higher. And Saleh has mentioned that Corley does have, a learning process that needs to take place, which is totally fine, right? Again, mid-round rookie here. But you got to think that these first-team reps for Malachi are extremely important, especially with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football. So, and Rodgers has actually talked about Corley, just, work ethic and, practice habits and him as a teammate and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. Now, the big negative, unfortunately, right? The big kind of takeaway, or at least in my opinion, the big talking point walking away from this practice is Joe Tippmann. Supposedly he had another bad day snapping the football. We obviously, heard yesterday it was a horrible day. Everything just looked like a mess. Rodgers was pissed. Rodgers has had his foot stepped on. It just seemed like just a clunky, dysfunctional day. And I was hoping that, okay, it's the first day of pads. Maybe Tippmann is in his mind thinking, okay, I got to go block this new face in Lecky Fotu. I got to go block this new face in Javon Kinlaw, or Solomon Thomas is really good, or Quinnen Williams, or whoever it may be. And I'm snapping Aaron Rodgers the football. There's a lot of pressure here going into year 2. And so it's more so thinking about how the play is going to develop, how to attack, what to do, as opposed to just snap the football clean and calm first and then get to that point. Of course, it's a lot easier said than done. Hackett actually did say this morning that he's not really too worried about it. He's going to be on track. Saleh kind of said the same thing yesterday, but another day where Tippmann has had multiple bad snaps, and because of that, the offense has stalled. It's such a weird kind of thing that I personally was just not expecting at all. And granted, we're only 2 days into padded practices here, so it is what it is. Tippmann is still a young player, and this is why training camp is here, right? It would suck if if week 1 was this weekend, right? But, that's not the case. We still have, a month before regular season football, the football that matters, starts up. So preseason games, joint practices, more training camp practices. Hopefully the yips with Joe Tippmann creep on down as the days go by here, and he kind of works out the kinks. But in the meantime, it is pretty tough to see these updates with Rodgers getting mad, or the play taking too long to develop because the snap was just off target. And Tippmann he is a building block of this offensive line, so he's somebody that you want to kind of have that confidence in. But hopefully he'll turn it around, and honestly, I do think he will turn it around at some point. It's not like it's the first time that he snapped a football. It's not like the first time he's played the center position at the professional level. So I think he will be all good in time, but it's just a matter of time, if that makes sense. Last point I want to touch on here, the kick return game. Right, so of course no Xavier Gibson, but Brant Boyer, this whole kickoff rule, this is going to be a big important piece to NFL games, and we kind of got our first look at the returners at the kick returner position: Braylon Allen, Malachi Corley, Isaiah Davis. And again, you would think that Gibson would be in that mix if he's healthy. But the one player that's not really, that we didn't at least see today, I mean, who knows what will happen next week or even tomorrow, but what about Izzy? If Izzy can't find a way to contribute on special teams, it's hard to imagine that the Jets would, keep 4 running backs on the active roster for game day. If, again, he's not helping out on the offensive side of the football, or he's not helping out in special teams. So maybe Izzy, once he gets an opportunity back there in special teams, maybe it comes in a preseason game where he has, 1 or 2 solid kickoff returns. But until then, it does look like it's the 3 young guys here, Allen, Davis, and Corley. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.